Philadelphia, are you ready?
He said, are you ready?
This is Brotherly Love Wrestling Podcast, your first stop for everything professional wrestling. So sit back and enjoy wrestling talk at its finest with your hosts, Larry Hall and Joe Corrado.
Welcome everybody to Brotherly Love Wrestling, and in our new-ish studios, I guess, because we kind of have done the show from here before, except
Yes,
no one has seen it.
Coming to you live from Newish Studios, we bring you Brotherly Love Wrestling Podcast.
So I think we're going to pick up right where we left off, and we're going to start with AEW last Wednesday, and probably the talk of wrestling after Wednesday night.
The talk of wrestling was a Broadway musical.
Exactly. That's exactly what I wanted to get into.
Yeah.
Because everyone was talking about it. I wanted to get your take on it first, and then I'll get mine.
Whether it was good or bad, it was definitely the most talked about segment last week. Now, I mean, starting this week off with what had just happened, which Hell in a Cell, we'll get into that.
Yes, yeah.
I thought, I was very, very, I don't want to say taken back, kind of confused at first.
Okay.
Like, I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like, that was but I think that's the reaction that they wanted. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, they wanted to be different. They wanted to show their entertaining side.
It was definitely different. And I think it was it was more well done than what WWE would have done with it.
Yeah.
I think they would have, I don't think they would have done it any justice.
I think if the only thing that, or people that probably would have did justice were probably the New Day. I think the New Day could have pulled off something like that.
No, I mean, just for, like, how it was shown. I feel like AEW did that better than, I think WWE would, although as corny as this was, WWE would have somehow found a way to make it even goofier. Or even worse.
Hence the argument, if WWE would have did this, everyone would have hated it. That's the by a lot of haters and a lot of WWE fans. I
think it depends on who was doing it. I think if you have someone that's going to pull off a silly skit that makes no sense to what this wrestling is.
Yeah.
I think if you put someone like you said, like the New Day or R-Truth, or someone that could like, that would be like, all right, well, as stupid as this is still like stupid great. Like I think that's what Jericho and MJF pulled off. Like this is stupid as hell, but it's still great in a way.
I thought, the lines in the song,
when you
and like
go back
Cody, and like when you really listen to what they're saying, like it was very funny. Whatever they were doing, like whoever wrote it.
I like the bit that came before the actual song
with the steak.
The steak,
yeah.
Like I thought that was pretty funny, and then they went completely into left field into a musical number.
When you showed it to me, because I didn't get to watch Dynamite at that point. Or I missed that one part. I fell asleep, and I just I didn't know what to make of it. Like I literally was looking at it.
I'd like to say you needed it in context, but there was no context to even take it from.
And I watched it back.
It just happened.
Yeah, I watched it back, and I watched it fully. And after a second time, I'm like, all right, it was very funny, very well done. The production was very good, but it to me, it doesn't scream AEW.
And that was a stacked show. Well, here's the thing, though. I mean, it was such a wrestling-driven show that night that I feel like they needed that. I feel like that was like as bizarre as it was the perfect thing to just put in there. Because you had the qualifying matches for the tournament.
Yeah.
So you had 4 matches right off the bat. You're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And then you add tag team matches and the women's match. I mean, you had a really stacked show match-wise. So this little segment, and we had Ray Phoenix and Pentagon. in a match.
Yes.
And that was still less talked about than Jericho and MJF doing a whatever rendition of some Broadway musical.
Do you think that statement that you just said, we had Ray Phoenix versus Pentagon, and Jericho and MJF doing a Broadway tune was the most talked about, is a negative for AEW?
No.
You don't think?
No, because they're not just wrestling. As much as they want to try and trick you and tell you, yes, we're pure wrestling, we're different. No, you're not. You're not different. You're not. You might have different people. You might think you have different ideas, but you're the same. That's entertainment.
Yes.
That's
sports
all,
entertainment.
That's all elite entertainment. That's AEE. I mean, as much as they want to try, yes, they put on great matches. They put on really, but so does WWE. When they have more time to throw out filler, though. That's their problem.
Exactly.
They have too much time.
Yes.
They have too much time on their hands. Too much time on their hands. Anyway, that's their problem. If they were shrunk down to maybe 3 hours a week, an hour and a half each show, you'd get a little bit more wrestling.
Yeah. Well, but see, the thing is, I think AEW is always looked at, and I've heard people say this before, is AEW is the sizzle and NXT is the steak. Because you get pure wrestling. NXT is a more pure wrestling show than AEW is, and it has been.
I mean, they'll sprinkle in some storylines and some vignettes and whatnot, but you're going there for the matchups.
Yes.
And because, I mean, as stacked as their roster is, they kind of just feature the same people too. I know I give AEW shit about that, but, I mean, NXT's guilty of the same thing. They kind of have, I mean, they only have 2 hours a week as well, so you're kind of getting the hits played.
Yeah, but I think the only difference with AEW and NXT doing that is NXT guys eventually move on because it's developmental. It's that other show where
they have a potential to utilize more well-known people than AEW.
Like Keith Lee was featured forever, and then he's gone, and now next man up.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that NXT could pull from up too, like they did with Charlotte. Finn Balor's now back down. I mean, they could always spice it up in a different way.
Yes.
So they could keep it fresh by bringing in the seasoned veterans and bringing them into NXT. And you get they have that. They always have that in their wheelhouse. Whether they want to pull it all the time is yet to be seen. But they have that. They could always pull from there. If they were really desperate for ratings, they could do that, and they would get ratings.
Yeah,
I believe, because if you're going to put you're going to put a Daniel Bryan or an AJ Styles or someone that has never stepped foot in an NXT ring, and now you have fresh matchups.
Yeah. Oh, instantly.
I mean, fresh for WWE. Some of the matchups you probably have seen before if you're watching ROH.
Yes.
But, I mean, you have fresh for WWE. Or you have someone that maybe forgot about those matches and all of a sudden you get them again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But going back to AEW being the steak, I mean, I think you get a...
Sizzle.
Or sizzle?
NXT is the steak, yes.
Yeah. The sizzle, because I think that they're running more of a variety type show.
Yes. Yeah. I agree, yeah.
So...
And I think the biggest thing is people...
But that's not... I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think that's great for AEW. I think they need that because I think if they are just going to solely focus on just wrestling, I don't think they can go toe-to-toe with NXT.
I agree.
I don't think they can.
They have great talent.
They do. They do have great talent, but they have bigger personalities than NXT has. So they're running with that. Yeah. Like they're playing with main roster guys as well. Yeah. Exactly. So that's why they're able to. You got to figure why did Raw and SmackDown outdraw NXT? Because of guys like Dean Ambrose, guys like Chris Jericho, and Rusev. I'll give them three. Yeah. But those are your draws. Like I'm not going to say Luke Harper outdrew. Yeah, no, no. I don't think he. No. I just don't think he did.
Even at his height with the Wyatt family, he's still.
And if Cody was still in WWE, he wouldn't be outdrawing NXT guys either.
No, and Swagger either.
No.
But I think the biggest thing that I took away from that was, and this is nothing new, is that the hate. The thing that bothers me the most is the hate between AEW fans and WWE fans.
It's always going to be there.
That draw the line in the sand. I am strictly WWE. I'm strictly AEW. I think why can't you just watch a product for what you like. Take what you like out of it, and enjoy that. You don't have to like everything a product does. Look,
Well, here's the
Raw
thing.
sucks.
They're
That's
playing towards their male demographic, and males tend to be more competitive.
Oh, yeah.
So they want to root for their team.
Mm-hmm.
So when AEW came of existence and started making noise, they made it known that they wanted to be a competition. So you're riling your fans up, and you're being like, okay, well, we have to be better. So there's this competitive nature, not so much you're rooting for like a football team to win, but you're rooting for a company. And that's bizarre to even say you're rooting for a company to win over another, but that's what it is.
When you're not getting any of that company's money for rooting for them.
No, and you're not winning. Like, if you're rooting for a team all year round, you're getting a championship. You're getting something at the end. You're either getting bumped, you're getting knocked out, you're not making it, or you're fighting for something. This is just TV ratings. Yeah. No one's getting a championship. Yeah. No one's getting that gold medal, that Lombardi trophy. No one's getting a spinner belt.
No one's getting a championship parade.
No.
Yeah.
There's just two companies working. Like, it just doesn't make sense why you should hate the other one. Because if they both continue to try and do that, to better each other, everyone wins.
Yes. The fans especially.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, rooting... It's a weird time for wrestling. It's some of the best wrestling you'll ever see, but the reasons people get worked up is just...
Yeah.
It's just bizarre.
Yeah, it makes no sense. I can't stand it. I mean, just like the wrestling you like.
CM Punk did, he gave a voice to the voiceless. And now look at us. Now look where we're at.
So that's what we have to think.
Now too many people have voices. And now we kind of want them all to shut up.
Yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely.
I mean, people are probably saying that right now as I said that. They're like, speaking of shutting up, I know someone that
Very
can
true.
Get their foot right in their mouth.
So let's move on to...
No, wait. Don't pay us AEW just yet, because there was 4 qualifier matches. There was some actual wrestling that did happen. And it was delivered. As advertised, Phoenix, Pentagon Jr.
Oh, yeah.
As advertised. That was, hands down, the match of the night. Probably the match of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Sunday starts a new week. Sunday starts a new week. So that was the best match of the week. Mm-hmm. That was as advertised. Then you get Wardlow versus Jungle Boy, and then you get...
Which you knew how that was
going to go. Cole Cabana versus Adam Page. You kind of had a feeling how that was going to go. Those happen to be in the same bracket. So you get Hangman and Wardlow, which I think is going to be very, very interesting, because I think... I'll give a prediction right now. I think this could be... Because everyone is predicting Cody,
Hangman,
or not Cody,
Hangman Omega.
Kenny.
Yeah.
I think Wardlow. Look at who's champion right now. Moxley.
Excuse me.
What the fuck was that? I think it's anything funny.
No, the funny thing is, excuse me. Funny thing is, we did the same thing for the TNT tournament.
Yes.
And we were like overthinking it, and well, if Cody gets here and stuff like that, and what did it end up being? Still ended up being the same predictable Cody at the end. It all happened exactly the way everyone thought, which is why I'm sticking with Omega versus Hangman and Omega winning,
and Omega Moxley,
and then you have him return to the cleaner.
And he's already kind of the cleaner. They're already using that moniker. So.
Yeah. But, I mean, honestly, I hope you're right. But what's the story? What's the best story that they're going to be able to tell?
With Wardlow and Moxley?
Or, I mean, first of all, Wardlow and Omega.
I'm saying...
That's the only thing.
You're saying they're going instant gratification, like they've already teased it, now they're done teasing you after 2 weeks, and they're just going to give it to you? Just like they did with Bucks and FTR, they kind of...
Exactly.
They pulled the trigger on that really quick. It's like they were chomping at the bit to get to it.
Yes, and I think the storytelling is where it comes in. They love to tell stories in AEW, and rightfully so in wrestling, storytelling is number one. And I think Omega and Hangman, it has to happen. Omega, Wardlow's amazing, and he's a freak athlete, but it just doesn't tell a good story
for him.
Yeah, and the story is
there. Unless this is their way to build him up.
And if that's the case, cool. Then you're telling a different story, and great. but I just don't see it.
I think Hangman Kenny. Why do you want and done this?
I think because you've had you've had Hangman say, I still want to be a tag team, and no, we're still a tag team. Everything's good. We're fine.
Well, why not keep them away from each other and?
Well, they are away from each other in 2 different brackets.
Yeah, for another week.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I see what you mean. I see why you're going that way.
I'm just saying that it would be nice to be swerved.
I agree.
Or are they afraid? Are they afraid of backlash of getting that WWE reaction of like, what the hell did they do that for? I don't think that their fans would do that though. I think whatever they give you,
everything is awesome.
They're going to accept
agree.
it. Like, here's the thing: if they make what most would be like, well, that's the wrong move. That doesn't make any sense. But if they make that decision, I still feel like their diehard fans will just be like, that's great. Yeah. I know exactly why they did it.
You're right.
Like, it's just like, what?
Yeah, you're right. No, absolutely. That's exactly how it will be. Instead of the WWE thing of...
Well, why did they do this? I booked it so much better in my head.
Yeah, it was right there. Why didn't they give it to us? It was right there.
Here's a weird question. Why don't AEW fans do that? But they do it for WWE. Like, why do fans do it for WWE but not AEW?
Because they're not jaded yet. AEW has not given any fan so far a reason to go, you know what, fuck AEW, man. They can't, they're not doing that right. They don't do that. It's all new. Everything is great. Everything they do is amazing. There is not one fan that walks away from AEW going, no, that can't happen. No one does that. No one shits on AEW except WWE fans. No AEW fans shit on AEW.
That's an interesting point. All right, we can switch topics now.
So let's move on to the pay-per-view of this week, and that was Bound for Glory, the biggest pay-per-view on Impact's calendar. And
I hyped it up a lot.
You did. Last show you really did. You were very excited for this pay-per-view.
I think I hyped it up too much.
For your standards, I think you did, yes.
I think I hyped it up. I was like, oh man, well, Slammiversary like hooked me. I was like, damn, this was really good. And I think, although Bound for Glory was good for the most part, it didn't hit how Slammiversary hit. And I know there were still surprises at Bound for Glory, but I just feel like it was a surprise seeing so many title changes.
Do you think they blew their load at Slammiversary?
No.
You don't think like they let too many people come right away?
No, because there was an influx and you knew that was going to happen. It kind of happened everywhere. Like there's
true.
People getting gobbled up. I mean, look at AEW.
Yeah.
They'll take whatever big star you want to give them.
True.
But I just feel like it was a weirder. It was. I'm trying to get the right word.
I'll tell you a couple things that probably took the wind out of the sails for Bound for Glory. One of your biggest storylines in Impact is the Heath Miller, Rhino. He gets a contract if he wins, all that. Heath gets hurt at the end of the match. Can't perform. They have to eliminate him. They had to make the switch for who was going to win. Rhino ends up winning. He calls his shot. So I think that kind of takes a lot out of a big storyline that they were depending upon, especially because Heath has been pushing this on social media. Impact has been pushing on social media, so I think that hurts. I think the bigger thing is Kylie Ray. This whole Kylie Ray situation of not knowing that she was in Nashville on Friday, she didn't show up to the building on Saturday. Was she hurt? Now it's non-threatening injury supposedly, but then no one knows where she was. So it's a lot of gray area there, and having Su Yung come in and win the title, I think really soured a lot of fans.
It was a weird because here's the problem, because it makes you think like, okay, Kylie Ray kind of had a breakdown when AEW came calling and she was going to sign with AEW, and then she kind of went away and then came back, and now you see she's getting a big opportunity at Bound for Glory for their main women's title.
And who knows, she could have won it. They could have just said
that was going to be the finish anyway, and she could have won that, and it makes you wonder if she was like, if she had a mental breakdown, if she wasn't up for the moment, or she got freaked out, or she really did get injured, and now you're like, well, someone say something. It makes you think that they're trying to hide something from you.
Exactly. I think that's
and then you gotta remember that there's a fucking pandemic going on,
Exactly.
and she could have gotten COVID, and you could have just easily said it's COVID related, and we're taking the proper precautions. That makes you think that it's not that. It's something that happened to her personally that isn't.
And I think that would have been the more acceptable thing. Fans would have felt better knowing
that she's okay.
It's she has COVID. They're being cool.
Something happened and she's okay. I mean, I know that they're saying that it's not physically. There's nothing wrong, and it's not a big. What was the word you just used?
Well, they said it was non-serious and
non-fatal or something.
It was
non-life-threatening.
Yeah.
Don't say it like that. That's a weird way to word things.
Yeah.
Like, just say she's okay. She's not hurt. Like it's not fatal. Like or not life-threatening.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
The reports coming out that no
These
one has seen her
suck.
and stuff like that that's really bad. That's what makes it 10 times worse.
Yeah, like did she get kidnapped?
Exactly. So that hurt the night as well.
Well, not to mention there's fucking crazy fans going around. I mean, look at what happened with come on,
Mandy Rose's
Sonya
Deville. Yes. I couldn't think of it either, but I knew who you were thinking
fucking
about.
Huge help. I knew exactly what you were talking about, so I just said words that weren't what you wanted to hear. Thank you so much for that.
I was trying to at least trigger it, but sorry, go ahead. But look what happened with Sonya Deville. Keep going.
And she had a freaking stalker show up to her house with a knife and duct tape and shit.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what the crazy people that are going to do out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, tell us that she's okay.
Yes.
Like, that would have made it at least... It sucked. Because I was rooting for her. I wanted to see her come in and win the title. I think she's one of the best female wrestlers going today.
I agree.
And I think that she's more than earned that shot and earned that title.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, give us something. I think that did sour it.
Mm-hmm.
It did sour it, and I think that hurt the main event. It was supposed to be like history making. Rich Swann wins their world championship. I mean, it was supposed to be after he overcomes adversity from a broken or a fucked up leg.
Shattered, broken, like his ankle.
Yeah, you're coming back. I mean, you're supposed to overcome all the odds of, especially because Eric Young's the one that helped injure you. It's supposed to be a big moment, and I think, not having fans does, and they don't work with any fans. No talent around the ring.
That was another thing where I'm watching it, and my wife walks in the room, and she was like, "Man, this is really weird. Why is it different?" And I said, "Well, because not like WWE. WWE has a Thunderdome. AEW has fans. This company doesn't.
There's filtered in sound. Like there's something going on. There's at least some. It's just."
It was very quiet, and it did take away from the pay-per-view a little bit. I agree. But there were 3 big positive points. I think the tag team match, although I don't understand why they took out...
Shelley's hurt.
Okay, that's why?
He had to pull out of BLP's...
Oh, okay. So Black Label Pros... that's right. Slamilton is coming out. So he had to pull out of that. Okay. So, but either way, regardless, still, it was a great match. You have new tag team champions in the North who are great heels, great tag team.
I'd say they're probably top 5 tag team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right now.
Yep.
Maybe put them. That's tough.
Their tag team division's really good as well, too.
No, but
so that's the other thing.
I'm saying top 5. New Day's still out there. You have any combination of Red Dragon or you get Fish and
O'Reilly, Strong,
Roderick Strong.
Yeah.
That's tough. Top 5.
And then you look at what AEW has.
Yeah, AEW might have top 3 of the tops.
Yeah, but as heels, they're probably one of the top tag team.
See, that's not fair though, because they've yet to get to work with any of those people that we just mentioned.
And that shows how good they actually are. Because they haven't even gone up against great talent. They're already saying what they are.
Yeah.
I think it's just the character work in general. They're great in the ring, don't get me wrong, but the character
I think
work
they're very good.
is very
I think they're very good characters, but I think they're very good. They have it to back it up.
Yeah.
They look like legit badasses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But now I'm wondering, do I want them to leave Impact? Do I want to see them swim in the ocean?
I would like to see another tag team come over, elevate it even more.
You want to see someone come to Impact?
Yes.
To elevate
Yeah,
it more?
I want Impact to be more elevated. I want them to get off Access TV, get to a better outlet.
They could. They just need, like, they're not there yet.
They're not.
Because, I mean, you can tell by the pay-per-view. They're not there yet. It was great quality. I mean, everything was great. It's just that you're not at the point where you can run something bigger. I know you don't really want to, if you don't feel safe to or you don't feel comfortable enough, don't run anything bigger.
Yeah.
They're kind of, I mean, they're keeping their talent as safe as possible, where other companies maybe aren't.
Yeah.
So, it's hard to say. I mean, when fans come back and you're able to actually see live, or somewhat live, because I know they still tape some shit, but it'll make a difference.
I think the other thing...
I wanted to get back to, like, TNA days of, like, where you're, like...
Well...
You're pulling in, like...
Now that you say that...
10,000 people.
Speaking of the...
or maybe not 10,000,
of
but
TNA.
5,000.
Yeah, you have old TNA days. You had a couple former TNA talents come in this Call Your Shot gauntlet.
You have a lot of former TNA talents showing up, period.
Yes. I mean, first one, to a much lower extent, but he looked phenomenal, was Daivari. Daivari looked amazing.
And that's WWE.
Former WWE superstar.
And it's his brother of the other Daivari.
Yes. So he makes and he looks
shredded to the gills.
Insane. Then you have...
He must have ate his Wheaties.
Then you have Hornswoggle come out, which made me laugh because
that was just a pop Dreamer. That's all that was.
Of course it was. And then with Dreamer coming out in the Road Warrior paint, he shaved his head, like, that was really cool. A cool tribute. I thought that was really good.
You knew he was going to do something. He's like, that's like him.
Oh, yeah. Uber historian when it comes to wrestling.
Yeah.
But then...
Which is a bad thing. He's appreciative of the history of wrestling.
Yeah. The biggest pop, I think, of that match was James Storm. You see the Cowboy come back, and there is the loss when there's no fans. The pop you would have got for even 1,500 to 3,000 people was amazing.
When does Bobby Roode's contract expire from WWE? Get those two together. Now that we know that Storm's not coming to WWE, we're not going to get beer money over there.
We don't know that necessarily, because... apparently, a couple of those guys are working under just agreements, not under full contracts. So
they're just showing up and get money?
Yes. Yeah, they're working on a date-by-date basis.
The Good Brothers are doing that, aren't they?
I think they are. So that's not necessarily the case, but it was really cool to see Storm. He looked great in the ring. He looks like in James Storm shape. He doesn't
Maybe he's just doing this. He's like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to just...
It's bound for glory.
Do some fun shit.
Yeah.
Until I go to my final place.
Yeah. So all that was really good. I thought the match itself, like we said, the
wouldn't
injury
wouldn't it be cool if there was no contract and you can see people show up anywhere?
Yeah, the Universal Wrestling would be amazing.
Like how fucking like you still have a company, but anything goes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can show up at any time. Like imagine
it'd be so hard. It'd be so hard to sell that to a TV station. Because the more someone gets over, the more you're going to want them to stay and bring the eyes. So once they leave, you're going, well,
yeah. I mean, you'd have to do it where all stations were. Like, you'd have to run everything through Fox Sports, or you'd have to run anything through Turner.
Yeah. It'd be hard to do, but it would be amazing if somebody could pull it. Even if you got 3 or 4 companies
together. So you put WWE on TNT, AEW, TBS. You'd have NXT running on what's another? True. And then you'd have Impact running on Turner Classic Movies.
Impact still gets the short end of the stick. Still. You have them on DCM out of all places. And I'm sorry, but
immediately following 12 Angry Men is Impact Wrestling.
And don't get me wrong, I love True TV, I love Impractical Jokers, but having NXT on True TV,
what? What's wrong with that?
Because they're on USA.
Well, I'm saying if you were to run,
they would have to run on a big network,
like Fox.
Yeah, or FS1, something like that. Yeah.
Well, how many different stations does Fox own? And now, after the O'Reilly factor, Impact Wrestling
on Fox News.
What the hell's another Fox station?
I don't know. FXX?
Yeah, there you
And
go.
FX.
FX would be NXT. AEW would run on. I don't know. They would run Fox Sports. FS1.
I guess.
Anyway,
Anyway, let's move on.
and now
Overall, Impact was a good pay-per-view. I think it could have been a lot better, but unfortunate circumstances happened, and we didn't get the pay-per-view that we might have thought was coming.
But the following day, we did get a pay-per-view, and dare I say, the best pay-per-view of the year so far. From top to bottom, the best pay-per-view of the year so far. It wasn't a big card.
Yeah.
And there was
5?
3 very, very good, substantial gimmick matches.
Yes.
Albeit, but
Yeah.
3 very good matches.
Mm-hmm.
You kick off the show with what could have main evented any other pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
Could have main evented anything. You kick off the show with Roman Reigns and Uso in the I Quit Hell in a Cell match. And this is the best story going in wrestling right now.
Yeah.
It ties in everything. It ties in the nostalgia. It ties in current. It ties in family bickering and fighting and family feud.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know.
Yeah, just keep going.
Every time I say family feud, and it pertains to wrestling, but you used to watch the family feuds when they used to be the old WCW?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
But
anyway.
it is the most complete story going right now.
Yeah.
It hits on every emotion level.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still just warming up. It's still on, like, boil. It hasn't gotten to the point where it's cooking. And when it's fucking firing on all cylinders. It's firing on all cylinders, but it's not even...
Yeah, it's not even
It's
close
not even
yet.
full speed ahead yet. 'Cause
I agree.
You know there's more that's going to unfold. I mean, they bring in the Wild Samoans, and you're getting the family bloodline. Everything's coming together, and you can see it. And you're getting to bigger pay-per-views where you're like, oh my god, it's building. I mean, you have Survivor Series where it probably won't do that much. It'll probably come to a little standstill because that's Raw versus SmackDown.
Yeah.
And possibly NXT.
Maybe. Yeah.
But no one's said anything about that yet. But then you have December, which is that still Night of Champions?
I believe. I haven't seen the schedule, but
I don't remember what December is. But then you get the Rumble. And that's when...
yeah, Road to WrestleMania starts there.
Yep. Road to WrestleMania starts, and that's when you start seeing things really, really, really unfold. But Roman Reigns and Uso, they kept it fresh.
You know what? I'll give it to Roman. Him at the end of this match,
He...
sitting there.
How dare you say he can't
Tears.
act? How dare you say how bad he is? How everyone is biting their fucking tongue right now on how good Roman Reigns is. Everyone's like, well, I said he should have done it. I knew it would be like this. Just shut up and sit down and enjoy it. Enjoy the greatness that you're watching. Don't say, well, I told you so. You fucking greedy bastards. I told you so, you greedy bastards. You fucking just let it fucking happen because you didn't know it was going to be this good. You thought it was going to be good, but this is really, they are just fucking pounding it in there.
It is amazing in every sense of the word. Everything's done right. The Usos are very good at what their role is.
That Jey Uso is going to get this much out of the singles. Like, they're great. They're probably, we're talking about greatest tag teams going right now. They're probably in the top 1 or 2 slot.
I'm pretty sure me and you were at an event, a WWE event, and I think the opening match was the Usos, and I can't remember who the other tag team was.
Was it New Day?
It might have been New Day, but it might not have been. I can't remember who it was.
Cesaro and Sheamus?
But it was a while ago. And the match ended, and I look at you and go, I don't get why everyone hates the Usos. I said, they're so good.
Oh my god, they play the
And this was before they got the Uso Penitentiary, and they were still...
And that was on another level.
Exactly. And they were doing all the coming out and doing the Samoan chants and all that. But at that point, still,
They weren't doing the face paint though.
No. It was very early still.
Yeah.
And
no. It was
that face paint. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So, but that's the thing. It was very early. People were still booing them. They had an amazing match in the ring. And I remember saying and going,
and they
I don't get it.
They weren't heels though.
No.
They were working they were working baby faces.
Yes.
They were working good guys.
And now you see how far they have come and how far the fans have come around on them because they had those insane matches with New Day, and that helped.
I think New Day helped like give them the notoriety that they deserve.
And the stamp of approval really by the fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't deny how good those two teams were together.
No.
And it got to a point where they're great. Like, they together, because New Day was good, but when they got together, that put them both in that top tier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because of, I mean, who you had in the ring, I mean, you know the athleticism there, but the storytelling was great, and the promos that they would cut on each other, everything about them two together was great. But that was tag team work. You never really thought, like, oh, well, how would they be by themselves? I mean...
And everyone thought Jimmy was the one to be better. Not Jay. Everyone thought it was, Jimmy is going to be the guy because he was on the Total Divas show and, like, they were featuring him more. Yeah. But now Jay comes out. I mean, Jimmy's hurt. Jay comes out, gets the opportunity.
I mean, Jay pretty much set himself up.
He has.
He put himself on the map.
Yeah.
I mean, with the help of Roman and Paul Heyman, and he still has his brother there, but...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you tie everything together. That was the first match of the night.
Yep.
The first match, and set it off great. You're, like, instantly, you're like... That's why they put it on first, because now you're in a good mood. You're like, I feel very, very... like, not relieved, but, like, satisfied. Like, that was great.
Yeah, it started off, and you're like, all right, I'm good with whatever comes next, I'm good.
You're like, man, like... It's only going up. Like it could. It's like you think like, well, it's all downhill from here because they just shot their load. But you look at the card, you're like, wait, Sasha and Bayley are still on this card.
Yeah,
this is gonna be great. And like, I don't even remember what the fucking other matches were besides the cell matches.
You got Miz.
Oh, damn! You forget about that. I mean,
and that's the fourth best match on the card.
That's the fourth best match on the card.
Yes.
I mean, we could toot our horns all we want, but we booked that as before it happened. We're like, well, this is probably the time. And I know everyone probably said the same thing. Like, Tucker's turning on him. It's just a matter of time when they're doing the fucking Jannetty Michael split. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
And there was words that Miz is gonna win.
Yeah.
Such and such, and Miz is gonna cash in
because they had nothing for Otis to do with that contract.
They didn't.
Never did.
I mean, and now you have the Miz holding it, who you know is
has
done it before.
Before you go any further, I gotta say, so we always get on WWE about never putting the belt on Strowman when he was ready, right? They put the briefcase in Otis's hands at the right time this time, and it failed because no one was more over at that point than Otis.
I think they just had too much going on with them.
I agree.
I think
at least they did it.
They did.
They're not getting credit for okay.
They're not getting credit for it because negatives outweigh positives. Exactly. They gave it to them, and then they had nothing to. They packed.
Yeah.
Like shit. Now what do we do?
Yeah.
We have other things planned. We have Edge coming back. We have anybody else. Like literally anybody else. That's who they put in front of him.
Yes.
They gave him the briefcase, and they put him in a C+ storyline.
Yeah. Yeah, they really did.
They not only were like, holy shit, like they had it when he won it. They're like, wow, that was shocking. And then the next day or two, you're like, well, we know how this is going.
Yes.
But they're not even putting him even remotely close to the title. And then they're having him talk about, well, I can cash in for the tag titles.
Yeah.
They had him. It was just
nothing ever materialized with that.
They got it. They got the ball.
Mm-hmm. And then dropped it immediately.
They didn't call fair catch though. Got hammered and dropped the ball.
Yeah. So anyway, Miz, rightfully so, because
he can do more with it. It's a power move.
Yeah, he can do more with it. And
now they've got someone who's more of a utility player that can actually and is a believable source of winning the title because he's already did it and he's already cashed in against the person who already just won the title in Orton.
Yes.
But
let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
But I was thinking about this on my drive home from work. Miz cuts the promo after he wins the briefcase and puts both titles on notice, the Universal and the World title on notice. Now, could this be smoke and mirrors and kind of a smoke and mirrors effect for him to
Distraction.
show up on NXT and claim that title.
That'd be great.
It would be.
That'd be amazing.
Wouldn't it be great? Because I think they already have plans for their main title. If you're thinking about it, you're like, Orton. I mean, Orton's got to be going against Edge. That's the Mania match.
That's the Mania match. Yes.
Yes, but Miz doesn't win it and then Orton wins it back. That's just silly.
I agree.
Unless Miz holds it and cashes in on either Orton or Edge in that match.
Yes, I agree with that as well. But I feel like
it would be more beneficial if he cashes in NXT.
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't even think about that. I think you did. I didn't even think about that.
I think it's the most left field, but I think it's the best decision. Because now you bring someone who could give you the main roster rub down to NXT. And Miz would be perfect at this. He would call them developmental talent. You can't beat him. He needs to take this title because he needs to bring some respect. And he could... imagine having him on Wednesday taking shots at Jericho.
Yeah.
Subconscious or little jabs.
Little subtle jabs, yes.
The Demo Emperor is finally here. The Zeus of the Demo world is finally here. He needs this title. All of you little developmental, and take shots. It's the perfect person to do it. And I know I get happy booking sometimes. Like I just book this is going to be great. And it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But there's always a possibility of something strange like that happening because Balor's hurt.
Yes. Yeah. We don't know how long he's going to be out.
Well, here's the thing.
Or when he's going to be cleared.
NXT runs a little gauntlet match or something like that to decide who is going to face each other they can vacate the title.
Mm-hmm.
And have Miz cash in that final match. Make it like a fucking banger. Make it the two best people that you could possibly put together and have Miz cash in on match of the year. They're having a 5-star match going in, and it's near fall after near fall, and then Miz comes in and fucking steals the title.
And then you get Ultimate Heat still.
Yeah.
And that definitely works.
It does.
Because
Miz isn't doing anything really on main roster.
And honestly for me, I kind of want, even if it's a short, it depends on how far Edge is along in his recovery. Because they put out this little seed to see how many people would realize it with the Firefly Funhouse. And Bray is unpacking because he's on a new show, and he pulls out the rod that Orton used to set ablaze.
Yeah.
And it's that little seed that got me curious. I'm like, man, what if now that Orton is champ, he turns around and he goes after him because
The Fiend?
Yeah, because you have the history.
That makes sense.
He burned down. And you
have a mini feud before Edge comes into the picture.
Exactly.
And maybe do they trade off? Have Fiend win and then drop it back to Orton, and Orton gets it. It passes Triple H his 15th time.
They could do that. See, but it's so hard because they make the Fiend so dominant as he went through Retribution, but that really doesn't mean anything anymore because Retribution isn't that big.
Retribution fell off.
But
I think you can't. I'm going to stop you there because you bring up Retribution and something that was supposed to be serious and, I want to say serious, but it wasn't really ever that serious. They were legitimately cutting the ropes with a chainsaw. It was stupid.
I thought that was I thought that was the best part of Retribution is when they started Nexus, started destroying the ringside. I'm cool with that. I actually like that. Molotov cocktails, nah. But didn't fall for it. But as soon as they signed contracts, as soon as they got drafted,
as soon as they got beat, they got beat by the Hurt Locker twice. Hurt Locker
got beat by the movie.
They got beat by Jake Gyllenhaal twice. Is that who it was? Jake Gyllenhaal? Yeah, he wasn't in the Hurt Locker. Who the fuck was in the Hurt Locker?
Can we move on to the Hurt Locker because it's the Hurt Business?
MVP was in the Hurt Locker.
Apparently.
Anyway. They already got beat by him twice. They got destroyed by the Fiend. What are you? And you have
I really wanted it to work.
We have Ali acting serious, like, dude, you just got beat. Like, you keep getting beat. You got your ass kicked by, your whole crew got your ass kicked by one person.
Yes, yeah. It's bad.
So it's done.
Anyway, okay, way back.
Go back.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, I want the Fiend Orton before Edge Orton, unless Edge is ready to go.
So that takes Miz completely out of it.
Yeah, and that's why I like the Miz going down to NXT, because then you can run with that. You can run with...
It's a new crop of talent to face the Miz.
Exactly. You make Wednesday nights a lot more competitive with AEW and NXT. You have a really, really, really good storyline that needs an ending that you haven't had yet in Edge and Orton, and you can run this all the way to Mania and go Mania to Mania with that.
Well, look at your... This is your two main men's matches. Would be Rock, Roman, and Edge, Orton.
That's pretty huge.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And
you don't even know what you're getting on the women's side.
Yeah, exactly.
You have no idea what you're getting.
Which we haven't moved on to yet.
No.
Which we will do right now, since we said we don't know.
Because you got a Mania-worthy match again out of Sasha and Bayley.
Yes.
You got another incredible... Anytime they step in the ring together, it's like...
It's KO Zane. It's
pure chemistry.
I mean... Michaels and Hunter, when they got in the ring, you could do that. Name the Fight Forever matches, and that's what Sasha and Bayley do. And I don't know how they do it, and how each match they do,
different.
no matter what it is different.
And it's a classic. It literally is. It's a classic.
There's so many spots, too, and it wasn't spots just for the fact of having spots.
It all had meaning.
Yeah, I mean...
Except for Bayley taping two sticks together and trying
which was a fail spot.
Mean, she was really trying for that, too.
She's
like, I got a great idea. I'll duct tape the two thin parts of kendo sticks together, half-assed, leave the tape hanging so there's more weight on it.
Well, she tried to bite it off. She couldn't rip it.
You can't rip duct tape!
Look,
I know there's sweating and there's things, there's different environmental factors, but come on, it's duct tape!
They're live on a pay-per-view.
Oh, fuck it, I'm doing it live! We're gonna do it live!
But, I mean, amazing. I'm glad that Sasha went over and got the title.
This is
became
her first
a Grand
time.
Slam
Yeah, it's her
champion.
first time as a SmackDown. I didn't
know
know that until last night.
No, yeah. So that was, I love the ending. And then you have this palate cleanser of a match afterwards.
Yeah, you get the
Hurt Locker against Retribution. And
Constitution.
Slap Nuts against Bobby Lashley for the United States title. And you needed a buffer. You needed to come down off of the Sasha and Bayley match.
What they did was they squashed Retribution more.
Exactly. But look, whatever.
They're done.
They're a joke.
Done.
They're a joke, and
they're not done. They can still come back, but they need to come back. Like, they need someone else now to pick them up.
They need a new leader.
Ali can't get it done.
He's not reviving that group. It's not happening. It was cool.
He said lights out, and Bobby Lashley beat up 3 dudes.
Yeah.
He said lights out, and Bobby Lashley said, "Fuck you, I'm not selling for you. I'm beating you up."
Yeah.
Fiend took out Retribution. Lashley took out Retribution himself. Who the fuck can't beat him? I mean, I give it. I mean, the Fiend and Lashley, 2 fucking stellar performers. But come on now.
No,
one guy's taking out your whole crew.
No, I agree. I agree fully.
You couldn't even get it done against one guy. How the fuck are you going to beat anyone else?
Yeah.
They're not done. They just need someone else.
They need a big change, and they need a new leader.
They need to kick Ali to the curb. They need someone fucking...
I don't even think they need that. I just think they need a new leader.
Yeah.
They need to have that come out that Ali is just the figurehead until the real leader comes out.
No,
or
just
something
kick him
like
to the
that.
curb. Bring in Cross when he's back. He could be the leader of that faction. He could give them some validity.
He would definitely make it legit.
Yeah.
More. Well, no, legit. Because they're not even legit at all,
now.
so no.
Alright, so you get to the palate cleanser, as you call it, or the squashing of a new faction, and then you get to the main event, which is McIntyre versus Orton. And I'm saying the whole time, I'm like, Miz is coming out to cash in. Something that's a hell of a sell. Something's going to happen where they're both knocked out. Miz is going to come. I'm glad they didn't do that. I'm happy. I mean, usually I like when I'm right. I love when I'm right. It's great.
Who doesn't like when they're right?
But I like where they went. I think
I like Orton being the heel, holding the title.
I like Orton winning the title. I mean, I think that he's just so good and he's so comfortable and he knows exactly what he's doing at all times. He doesn't put on a bad performance.
And like you said when we were watching it, it's better that Orton has the title for Survivor Series because you do not want this monster in Drew McIntyre to have to lose to Orton
Well, here's
Roman
the thing. That was
Survivor Series.
That was when I thought they were going to protect McIntyre. McIntyre legit got beat by Orton.
Yeah, but you can still kind of save him with Hell in a Cell and it being Orton.
I don't think they run Roman versus Orton. I don't think they put those two together. I think you might get something else.
Well, unless they just do Team Roman versus Team Orton.
And yeah, unless they're put. I mean, then you can work around it because Roman can just leave and be like, "Fuck it, I don't want to fight," and just leave.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that would be a better option to go to a legit Survivor Series match.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that'd be better.
I think that would be a lot better because I don't think Orton now should have to face Roman and lose to Roman.
Yeah, I agree with
and
that.
I don't. I mean, they hate doing top heel versus top heel because that's what it is, top heel versus top heel.
Yes, WWE tries not to do that as much as they can.
So, I think that's why I think it was the best pay-per-view. I think they made all the right decisions. Everything was right.
Including squashing Retribution.
I don't have a problem with it because I don't think that they're a threat.
Yeah,
I think there's more silly than anything.
Yeah.
They don't have any seriousness about them. They lost all that.
Yeah. So
as soon as Ali couldn't get the job done, that was it. They should have kicked him to the curb.
Now, the one before we wrap it up,
wrap it up.
I do want to talk about Wednesday night, and not about AEW.
About Halloween Havoc?
Halloween Havoc.
Spin the wheel, make the deal. Oh, we should have had a wheel.
We should have. Poor planning on our part. But tomorrow night we have our live Twitch, which we're going to have our costumes for. So maybe we can pull something off for that.
Oh, I have an idea. I just got a new idea.
Okay, so let's hold on to that until after we go off.
Yeah.
But Halloween Havoc, we have Gargano against Priest in the spin the wheel, make the deal, and then you have his wife.
Candice LeRae.
Thank you, Candice LeRae. Could not think of her name.
See, when you ask for help, I'll give it to you. I know. I don't just sit there and throw other names out hoping that'll jog your memory.
I'm sorry, I couldn't think of it at the time the same way you did.
I set you up, you swing and you miss. You set me up, out of the park. Out of the goddamn park. I'm fucking Bayley.
Anyway, both those matches, spin the wheel, make the deal, which I can't wait for.
I love that they did it. Like I said to do it, and I was like, they're never gonna fucking do spin. Like I didn't think that they were like. I didn't think that they were equipped enough to think of that.
What's your match? What's the match you want to see land on at Spin the Wheel? Make the deal?
What are all my options?
Oh my god, I have no idea. I mean, just pick one because they're going to be insane.
I think if Buried Alive matches, you're going to see. I think you're going to see
Gargano.
I think just because they're celebrating 30 years of Taker, I think you get a Buried Alive match.
Yeah, very true.
I mean, I know no one. The only person that would be a fitting person to go into a Buried Alive match would probably be Aleister Black or something.
Yes.
But
yeah.
I still think the concept is just. I think it ties in well with, and it was never done in WCW, so it really doesn't fit Halloween Havoc, but it fits what they're doing with Taker and all that. So I think you see a Buried Alive match.
And I really want Coal Miner's Glove.
I don't think you're going to get that with Shirai and Candice LeRae.
No, I don't think so.
I think you're going to get something like.
I think you're going to get like is
there a TLC on Spin the Wheel, Make the Deal?
I mean, I haven't seen. I mean, I haven't seen it enough, like the picture of the wheel enough to see what all of them are.
Is Judy Bagwell on a pole there?
That would no.
Imagine them being on there and they're just like,
and they just keep going. Yeah, I don't know, but Coal Miner's Glove is it's so out there, and Johnny Gargano even mentioned it when they were doing the test one. Like, I would love for that to be it, but I don't think that's going to be it because I agree with you. I think they're going to do something Taker-esque, whether it's Buried Alive or even the casket match. You can do either one.
Casket match would be pretty cool.
Yeah. And that way...
God, when the hell was the last time we seen a casket match? Oh, it was at the fucking Greatest Royal Rumble and
him and Rusev.
Rusev got put in the casket.
Yes, which should have been Jericho.
Yes.
It was going to be Jericho Taker.
Yes.
Which would have been much better.
Which would it wouldn't have hurt Rusev.
No.
Everything they did hurt Rusev.
But Halloween Havoc, I know they're going to do it right. I said it from the beginning. As soon as they announced it, they picked the perfect person to be the front person in that Shotzi Blackheart. And they did In Your House right. They're going to do this right. I'm so excited for Spin the Wheel, Make the Deal. I think Wednesday night, I will be very surprised come Thursday afternoon when the ratings come out that if AEW beats them, because I think this is going to draw a lot more people. Now in the demo, probably going to beat them. I get it.
I don't think NXT beats AEW this week.
I say they do.
I think there's going to be more
by
viewers.
A slim margin. I say NXT wins.
What are you gonna
overall?
Watch? Are you going to watch NXT?
Oh, I'm watching NXT live for sure, and I never do that. Yeah, I didn't. I'm sorry. You said, "What are you going to watch?" And then huh?
Did you just throw something at me?
No,
something hit me.
Nothing.
Fucking sleight of hand.
John
Thornboss. Fucking John Thornboss.
Yeah, and usually I watch AEW, but yes, NXT is number one on Wednesday for sure.
It's gonna be a heavy flip back and forth day. It's good when wrestling is like, I don't know which one to pick. When it's that good.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
Shit.
Yeah.
Options.
So,
options are good.
We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to join us over on Twitch.
We'll have Danny Limelight, who is pulling off the unthinkable tomorrow.
Yeah.
And when you see this, it will probably be 2 days prior.
I'm going to try and get this out tomorrow morning, so if people are listening or watching right away as of Tuesday morning, then...
Well, then here you go. Danny Limelight will show up on AEW Dark.
Yes.
Is wrestling live at Primetime Live.
On pay-per-view and
on
Fight.
Pay-per-view on Fight.
Yes.
And is also sitting in for a live Twitch stream of Brotherly Love Wrestling Podcast. He's doing 3 things all at the same time.
The ultimate hat trick.
This guy is the Iron Man of wrestling right now.
Yes. So yeah, that's going to be amazing to have Danny on because like you said, being on Dark, being on Primetime Live, and with us.
There is a good possibility that as he is talking with us, he is showing up on AEW Dark at the same time.
Exactly. Yes. He's pulling a Lex Luger.
And maybe we'll do a live chat and really fucking blow everyone's minds about how he'll be talking about himself wrestling at the same time where he's talking about himself.
Yeah. Yeah. Something's going to happen from all this interdimensional kind of thing going on. It's going to be fun to watch.
Maybe it'll be popular.
Maybe.
We're ahead of the class. We're popular. No, you don't know? No? The 90s alternative just fucking whizzed right by you, didn't it?
They're in my head.
All right.
Anyway,
let's get that
so like we said, follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/brotherlywrestling. Give us a follow. More follows we get.
You know what happens when you don't watch us on Twitch? Do you know what happens?
I have an idea.
Do you know what happens when you don't watch us on Twitch on Tuesdays? You didn't write the list.
Knew that was coming. So, thank you for watching the show. Please like, subscribe.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy.
Why didn't I just say that?
I got the looks that drive the girls wild. I got the moves that really move them. I said chills up and down your spine. I'm just a sexy boy.
Good?
I think let's get out of here. If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
Thank you, everybody. We'll be talking to you very soon.